Rabjyot, thank you so much for being on this episode of Think Through podcast. How are you doing?
Harjit, I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good and I'm ecstatic because I would really like to share this with everybody that Rabjyot and I are from same city back in India. We went to the same college to study our bachelor's of engineering. We came to Canada around the same time through the same consultancy, but we never happened to cross our paths until recently when we connected with each other for this podcast.
While
So I'm
LinkedIn,
just
yeah.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how crazy it could be. So, before we actually talk about what you do, Rabjot,
Right.
let us feel the nostalgia. Let us backtrack a little bit and actually start talking about GH Raisoni College of Engineering. Tell me,
Yeah.
how was your experience at Raisoni and what brought you here in Canada?
So before Raisoni, I was like I got my science instead of commerce because I wanted to join my dad's business. I
Mhm.
always wanted to be a commerce student, but God had some other plans. Anyways, I cleared science from 12th grade and then got my mechanical engineering admission in Raisoni. Raisoni, was it where all began for me. I studied mechanical engineering at GHR College of Engineering, and again that's in Nagpur for everyone else, India. And while engineering may seem very different from finance, it the foundation of how I think today. Because again, we are mechanical engineers, we can do anything like problem solving, discipline, precision, everything came from all the tasks which are given over there, all the assignments, all everything we did, extracurricular activities, etc. So what made Drive Sony special wasn't just the academics, it was the environment I got involved, like extracurriculars, tech fest, and student leadership. I got a great chance to be the first president, and I'm proud to share that. I got a great chance to be the first president of ISHRE, that stands for Indian Society of Heating, Refrigeration, and Air Conditioning Engineers, student club in our college. And we initiated all the process as I was already a part of ISHRE out of college. So that's how I got an opportunity to be a first president in 2017, which helped me grow my communication skills and confidence. I was very shy before when I used to. I cannot lead people, but now I can speak in front of a lot of people because of my president year in college. When College Fest was there, I every year used to have some of the other stalls. If like in 2018, I remember we have like ice cream stall. We had a lot of profit from there. I made professors as my friend through that stall only.
Interesting.
That curiosity ultimately led me to explore the world of like personal finance, wherein I was engaging in different events and activities, collecting money from people, organizing events, and organizing our own small stall for 3 days. And yeah, that's where my entrepreneurship journey started actually.
Interesting. Yeah, Raisoni brings a lot of memories. I'm pretty sure if we start talking about it, we are gonna go on and on. But
Yeah.
proceeding with this podcast today, tell me, how has your journey been so far in Canada?
Canada. Never thought I'll be in Canada. Actually, I was thinking to go to Mumbai, but when I realized that the money which I have to invest in one of the top business school in Mumbai is the same as I can invest in Canada, I thought why not go abroad and explore some opportunities. While I'm in India, I have a lot of comfort, but if you go abroad, you get a lot of chances, not academic wise, but to become a real human because then you have to do your own stuff, cooking, washing dishes, making your own food, groceries, which I never did back in India. So it all started from there. Moving to Canada was one of the most transformative decision of my life. I came here with a dream like many immigrants share: better opportunities, higher quality of life, and a hope of building something meaningful. But again, I pursued post-graduate studies in project management and international business management from Sheridan and George Brown College. That gave me an opportunity to adapt into Canadian system real quick. But like most newcomers, my journey was also with a lot of hardship and struggles. Again, starting from scratch, adapting to the weather. First of all, my first winter, I remember it was winter 22, like December of 21 to March of 22. And that winter was the worst winter till date. I had never seen that winter again. Job hunting, did all kind of jobs which came as opportunity in front of me. Never said no to any kind of job. I used to say yes, and then I was like, then I'll ask, okay, now I said yes, now tell me what to do, because I was in need of that.
Yeah.
So that made a better human. I did like different kind of part-time jobs in my 2 years of studies. Then I landed into a good opportunity later on. But I realized like we do all kind of jobs which I never thought, but I was still living paycheck to paycheck, and nobody taught me how financial system worked here, starting from opening a GIC. I was not even aware like paycheck says CPP, EI, what's that? And nobody's here to help me. That's where that's where it came, like I want to know about finances, how financial system works here. Yeah.
Interesting.
We
So,
yeah,
from the point that you were unaware of what all these terms mean, GIC,
yeah,
CPP, EI, till today that you have started your own consultancy. So,
yeah.
that's incredible. Uh, let's start talking about what do you exactly do, because when I was going through your profile for this podcast, I
Right,
realized that you work at World Financial Group as a life,
right,
health, and wealth advisor.
right.
So tell me exactly what do you mean when you say you're a life, health, and wealth advisor? I understand the role of wealth advisor a little bit, someone who assists in real estate management, tax
Right,
savings, or
right,
stocks and stuff. But
right.
what do you exactly mean by life advisor and a health advisor, or what services do you provide?
See, life, health, and wealth is all regarding finance in this case. I am a Government of Ontario licensed, LLQP licensed life, health, and wealth advisor in Canada, and very soon multiple provinces. And with God's grace, if things go well, I'll be also the financial advisor in US in a couple of years. But what life, health, and wealth advisor is, so it is someone who looks for financial picture of anybody holistically, like everything. It's not just about selling a product, it's about creating a plan to protect your family, grow your wealth, and gives you a peace of mind at every stage of life. Let's say you want to buy a house, want to buy a car, protect your house because you have a mortgage. Protect your health, not in terms of health card because the government gives you health card for free, but what it doesn't gives you is money when you are in hospital. You ended up withdrawing all the savings. Protect you from life because when somebody passes away, estate comes into play, which I never saw in India. So estate is the biggest thing which I came to know here. Life advisory means ensuring your family is financially secure if something happens to you. Health term means regarding critical and disability insurance, which protects your income and savings if your health takes a hard hit. Wealth advisory, as you're aware of, we take care of all the investments, tax planning, retirement strategies, estate planning, will planning, and all of this stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, are there like different kinds of insurance within like for example bracket of life insurance, or is it just life insurance and then you go for it? Or how would we know which is the right one to pick?
The insurance is not which I can say exactly what we need in a podcast because it depends on everybody's life. Let's say if you are a single earner and you have nobody behind you, you actually don't need a life insurance till the time you want to really donate some money to a charity. Let's say you have a family with kids and with a mortgage of $1 million and you are the only bread and butter. You should have life insurance at least till the time your mortgage is there, like let's say 25 or 30 years from now, or maybe till the time we are planning for second or third kid, till the time they become 18 years old, so that your dependency on the family of your kids, of mortgage, of a spouse, and your parents, aging parents, is not finished. Usually 55 to 65, but again, it depends on person to person. And we can't say like what you exactly need. And also, if somebody, let's say, I'll give in a bigger picture of that. Life insurance plays a very important role when it comes to estate preservation because let's say you have one house for yourself. After 5 years, you buy second house. The biggest market in Canada, the biggest business is real estate. Unfortunately, I don't believe in that a lot. But anyways, so if you have one house, two house, three house, Airbnb property, a villa or a farmhouse, let's say a five house or maybe a business property, and then again business location, couple of branches of your office, you have a property of let's say $10 million when you're at 65 or 75 or 80. But what happens is you purchase all of these properties around in 2 million or $3 million because of 30 40 years of time in the property. It appreciated and it became $10 million. Now what will happen when this will be passed on to your family? If you have five properties, two or three properties will be taken care by CRA and they will take the properties. So that's where estate planning comes into play through the help of life insurance, because the capital gain tax is roughly 6 to 8 millions in that case, 2 to 3 millions of investment versus what it was there at the time of the person's death. It's 10 million, let's say. So the difference is 6 to 8 millions. Who's gonna pay 1 or 2 million or $3 million of taxes to CRA? At that time, either you have to sell your business or your Airbnb property or your own house. So you suffer because your family member is no more with you emotionally, plus financially because your either business is going down or your house is going down. So it all depends on what age you are, what family size you have, and a lot of things.
So, quick follow up question then, does it matter if an individual who is living all by themselves need an insurance, or is there a family size requirement to buy insurance?
See, it all depends. I mean, if an individual living by himself, let's say, is an international student, then in that case, his dependency is not in Canada, but their dependents and families in India, or let's say from wherever it's coming from, China, Pakistan, UK, US, Australia, anywhere. So in that case, we still need the insurance because right now his age is very young. He is international student, let's say 22, 23 years old. Maybe he is having education loan. Maybe he's having car loan. Maybe he's having other loan in different country. At that time, what will happen? And also, the answer to this is yes, because family size in life insurance matters, but also does not matters because it's not just about your family size, it's about your family's need. The more dependents you have, like spouse, kids, aging parents, higher your responsibility to protect their future. Think about it this way: if something were to happen to you, how long will your family, either in this country or in another country, will be financially supported? Would they have enough to cover the mortgage, daily living, education, debts? How long you want your income to replace if you are not there? So it depends on a lot of things. But yeah, I think that's
Yeah, seems like very subjective and it depends from people to people, but
yeah.
uh
It's needs. It is all dependent by need basis. So we go
yeah.
with need based approach rather than whether you want or not.
Yeah, and I
So,
like the way you said that it's not about the family size requirement, it's more about what the family needs. And it could be very subjective to every
right.
family.
And see, like every person who has a car in Canada, so I'm from GTA, Greater Toronto area. Everybody has at least of $350 on an average. Somebody has 500, somebody has 250. Let's say on an average 350 of car insurance. So imagine the vehicle which drives you from your work to home and home to work, you're paying 350. But the vehicle which is yourself, which is driving your family, can't you pay one fourth of your car insurance? Oh, sorry, health, life insurance and health insurance. It doesn't cost much. I'll say like it's 350. It's one fourth. Again, it's need basis. Maybe 500 per month, maybe 25 per month. But on an average, I'm giving you a rough idea. Like if you are young, it will be cheaper. If you're older, it will be costlier.
Interesting. I like the analogy between a person and the car. That was interesting. So, like, is it fair to say that you have a brokerage with World Financial Group or you have your own consultancy?
Yeah, I have a brokerage at World Financial Group.
Right. So tell me, how does your brokerage help families in Canada buy insurance? Like, what is the process that you go through, and how and where exactly do you help them?
So it all depends. When they approach us, we first do a financial need analysis. Like, what's your car loan? What's your credit card debt? What's your housing loan? What's your line of credit balance? What's your monthly income after taxes? How much taxes you're paying versus how much taxes you can potentially save, and that from saved taxes we can do your other investments or insurances. So we first do a financial need analysis with the clients, and then based on that we guide that what you need to do for next 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, and for the rest of the life for retirement.
Interesting. With respect to financial planning for future, what are few
Yeah.
things that you think one should keep in mind?
So, financial plan, many youngsters nowadays say that they don't need it because they just graduated, they want to live their own life, and they'll think when they'll get married or when they'll have kids or whenever they will think to buy a house. But the problem is they don't understand compounding. Robert Kiyosaki says that it is not how much money you make, but how much money you keep. So financial plan is something which everyone should be aware of. Unfortunately, our education system in most of the countries, they don't tell us which is most important. We are always aware of how to get a job, how to get a resume. Like if you are behind the money for an entire life, then why you are not being educated how money works? We start with emergency fund and insurances. People say I want to invest, but before investing, emergency fund and insurance is most important. That's what we educate clients. And then start investing because wealth preservation is more important than wealth creation. What you have should be protected rather than what you would be having after 10 years. In some statistics which I have already, it says in 2022, 1931 Canadians died in road accident. Let's say you start investing in SIP of $200. What if you met with an accident? It's not gonna pay you two, three, $500,000, but a 30, 40, $50 of insurance, even if you paid like 6 months, that's not even $500 will pay you 500K. So that's where we recommend emergency fund plus insurance as in the beginning. And next, investing. Imagine there were so many job layoff in 2020 COVID. What if you don't have a emergency fund of 6 to 9 months of your expenses? I'll not say of your salary, but your expenses. You would have taken line of credit, you would have withdrawn all your investments and broke all the compounding. Then what is the sense of investing? If you started investing from 2017, all was gone in 2020, so you did nothing. Or if something happened to a person during COVID time, if he or she dies, you would have only accumulated $20,000 in 3 years, but $1 million should land in your family, which should pay your house because one of your family member died because of COVID. So again, emergency fund and I think insurance should be the starter pack. Then we move on with investing.
Interesting. You talked about emergency funds and investing. We'll come on both one by one. Let's start with emergency funds.
Yeah.
Do you have any advice or suggestions on how one can proceed keeping some emergency funds aside?
See, the best is having some either GICs or corporate bonds, which will give you liquidity, protection of your principal, or having some gold. I mean, again, gold is not what everybody can keep, but there are ways you can keep virtually. And I think the most best way and easy way is to having some corporate and government bonds that are AA, AAA rated, along with some GICs, which will not give you return but will give you some safety that if you are out of income or if you need some money in case of emergency, you should at least have 3 to 6 months at least of your expenses, not your income but at least your expenses. And if you don't have any safety or any principal saved yet, we'll start with budgeting. I'll recommend everyone to at least start counting what's what are you spending in last 30 days. You'll be surprised when you check your checking account, saving account, credit card bills, and debit card accounts. Like when you even count a single dollar where you spent, most of the people will be ashamed. Like you're spending so much on food, you're spending so much on shopping, maybe some kind of subscription which you never use. People usually sign up for free trials, let's say for 7 days, and then $20 a month, and then I never saw because the credit card was paid after that because it's an auto pay. So again, review your expenses for 90 days, make an average of that. Based on that, you have to plan like what my limit should be for spending and what's my goal for emergency fund, how much I have to save, and how many months it will take to make that. Then we'll decide which product we have to choose. First make a plan like where is your money coming from, and then we'll decide where to put it.
Interesting. So for emergency funds, you said it can be saved in terms of GICs, corporate bonds, or one can buy gold. Um,
Yeah.
Also suggested budgeting, and the runway should be for at least 3 to 6 months based on your expenses and not the salary.
The 3 months is the minimum because you need at least 90 days to think what to do next.
Hmm. Yeah, no, fair enough. That makes sense. And then you talked about investments. So in Canada, there's like multiple streams that where you can invest. Like there's RRSP for retirement, there's
Right.
TFSA tax-free savings account, there's
Yeah.
FHSA first home buyers. And when I was going through your profile, something interesting that I noticed is there's something called RESP as well. So I'm pretty
Right.
sure most people know about RRSP, TFSA, and FHSA, but I think RESP is less talked about. So brief about what is RESP and how it is equally important as an investment.
So RESP is basically not for everyone. It's only for the family who's having a kid. So its full form is Registered Education Savings Plan. It's a Canadian government sponsored investment account that is actually designed to help parents or families with newborn kids to fund the post-study education. Like let's say it grows money till 18, 20 years, then you withdraw it only for educational purpose whenever they want to pursue higher education. It's not tax deductible, unlike FSHA and RRSP, but the investment grows tax free like TFSA. It's a tax advantage savings plan for education. And also, like, there are government grants into it up to $7,200 from CESG, that's Canada Education Savings Grant. 20% on the first 2,500 per year of what you contribute, government puts into it. So it's kind of like a free money which you get if you contribute to it.
Interesting. If you want to quickly touch upon RRSP, TFSA, and FHSA, like what is the right time in life to start investing in RRSPs and all these investments?
Right. So I'll start with what Warren Buffett says, that if you buy things you don't need, you'll soon sell things you do need. So that means, first of all, you should have a plan, and the money, when it comes to your account, you should save first, like spend whatever is left after investing and first invest, because that will give you an idea of what your future will look like. Otherwise, as Warren Buffett said, if you buy things first, you might have to sell things, which is vehicles like RRSP, TFSA, FSHA, or take a line of credit loan later on. I'll come to the vehicles. I call it vehicles because it's easy to explain. So, first vehicle, TFSA, that's tax free savings account. It's a very free account wherein you can invest anytime, you can withdraw anytime. The limit right now is 7,000 per year. So you can invest, grow your money tax free. It's ideal for short or medium type goals like travel, car, maybe emergency fund as well. You can withdraw it. But many smart investors also use it for long term wealth creation tax free. RRSP, it's Registered Retirement Savings Plan. You get a tax benefit when you invest into it. Let's say it's 18% of your annual income. That's the room which you get inside your vehicle. So let's say your income is 100,000. If you invest into RRSP like 10,000, your net taxable income will be 90,000. So the tax which you pay, the highest amount of tax which you pay from $90,001 from $100,000 will be reimbursed when you file your taxes. So that gives you an extra heavy amount of dollars which will be coming back as the tax is paid off. It's great for retirement. If you withdraw it before retirement, like before 60, earliest you can withdraw is 60, and usually it should be withdrawn from like age 65. But if you withdraw before, you might have to pay taxes, and that income which you will withdraw, I mean, whatever amount you will withdraw, will be considered as a taxable income in your current year's income. So it's not good for people, because if you are thinking of withdrawing it, imagine every year your income is growing. So you got the tax benefit when your income was less. After 10 years, you withdraw. So your income would be like 50, 70, 80,000 more. You have to pay more taxes on top of the withdrawal. So like you got government grant of, let's say, 25%, and now you're paying 40% taxes on that. So we should plan in a smart way. And again, whenever you withdraw after 65, assuming that you will retire and you will not have enough income apart from the pension plans, but you have to pay taxes on the withdrawals too. But at that time, your primary income is not there, so you're good. First home savings account, FSHA, that's the best thing everybody should open who is thinking to buy a house either today or within next 15 years. You get 15 years to invest in FSHA, and the room is $8,000 per year. Now, the carry forward room is only 16,000. So let's say if you don't invest in 2 years, it will not be carried forward like 24,000 next year. So make sure you invest at least 8,000 every 2 years in order that you don't lose the carry forward money. That's tax free growth in FSHA. You get tax deductible like RRSP. So you can say it's a mix of TFSA and RRSP combined together. It's tax free withdrawal only for first time home buying if you qualify for that. And whoever is first home buyer can qualify for that. That's a great tool everybody should invest, because if even if you don't buy a house, that can be transferred to RRSP later on. So it's not like I'll not buy house. It's like start investing, you'll save some taxes, and with the saved taxes, we can plan an insurance. So
Hmm.
that's the way we plan it. Otherwise, we start with insurance, as I said before, then we start with FSHA, and then the tax gains which you get after a year while filing taxes can go into TFSA and can create long-term wealth in TFSA with the tax gain from government. Yeah.
Interesting. So you said FHSA is something that everybody should have an account to, but out of RRSP and TFSA, which one do you prefer? Like, which is a
TFSA.
high priority? TFSA out of,
Yeah.
okay,
I mean, that's my favorite because it gives you flexibility. The person who never invested should open a TFSA because he doesn't know how consistent and disciplined he will be. So I think TFSA is the freest account with no taxation gain or no tax losses when they withdraw. Free to invest anytime, free to withdraw anytime, in a condition that it should be 7,000 per year.
yeah,
You can't contribute more. But if you withdraw, you have to wait till January 1st in order to get a reset on the room.
right. So first, fill their room for TFSA and then
Yeah.
start investing in RRSP in a particular calendar
Right.
year.
Right.
Interesting. And I also read on your profile that you provide some guidance to students or people who are hoping to start their financial career. So, do you have any tips for anybody who would probably watch this podcast, or if they are hoping to
Yeah. Anybody who's looking to seek or get into finance industry or at least educate themselves about how Canada and finances work in this country of opportunities. So we have two things here. We generally every bi-weekly schedule a financial literacy webinar in person and on Zoom as well. So every other Saturday, it's in Mississauga, our office. And if you are not in Mississauga or if you are away from GTA, far from GTA, in any other province, it's also free for our Zoom sessions. We'll give you Zoom links. And I'm proud to say that in our sessions, usually 30 to 40 people are always there in person with the help of our team. And also in Zoom, there are more than 25, 30 people every bi-weekly. So we're helping at least 50 families every bi-weekly and educating with financial literacy. That's number one. If you want to get licensed and grow with us together, we'll help you. We have in-house trainers who will teach you. We have all the modules. It's a government registered exam. You have to get a government license by clearing the provincial exam. We help with all of those stuff, and you can join our team and we can grow together.
interesting. And how can people reach out to get that free Zoom link if they are away from GTA area?
They can reach out to me via my LinkedIn or WhatsApp or Linktree.
Sounds good. And we'll also post your Instagram. I know your Linktree link is
Right.
on
Right.
Instagram bio. Perfect. That was a great conversation with you, Rabjot. And thank you for sharing all the thoughts on insurance and your financial literacy with us. I hope this information helps people in making sound financial decisions. That being said, Rabjot, I wish you the best on your brokerage journey ahead and hope to keep in touch and talk to you soon.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. I really like this session. And to everyone, to all the audience, I'd like to say one thing. Warren Buffett said in a funny way, obviously not too seriously, but he meant by that. He started investing at the age of 11 and he said that he was too late because he missed the first 11 years. What do I mean by that? A person who understands compounding, sorry, again, this is also said by Warren Buffett. I'm a big fan of him. He accumulated a big amount of junk. He accumulated like $1 billion in first 50 years of his lifetime and more than 150 billion in the next 40 years. So it always take long time to accumulate 100,000, but it will only take less than 50% of the time to accumulate the second $100,000. That's the power of compounding. And what Warren Buffett said is start early because the person with discipline and consistency who understands compounding earns it, but the person who doesn't pays for it. The
Interesting.
average retirement amount which Canadians hold at 65 is roughly 320 $350,000. But if you are somewhere around 22 to 25, you can actually accumulate near about 800,000 to $1 million at retirement, which is three times more than the average Canadians when they retire, just by investing $50 biweekly.
Wow, interesting. And that is a great insight. With this, I hope everybody liked this podcast. Thank you again, Rabjot, and hope to keep in touch.
Thank you so much.